okay-ish.
We're going live. Let's do it live.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it.
You just said it on live air, JA. And look at them embarrassed.
They journalists.
Should we redo it? Should we leave it? Should we end the broadcast or what? No, we're going to roll it. JA with the red face. When I said we're going live, folks, we are going live. That's Justin Ayers. That's Jack Connell. My two boys, partners in crime, two studs here, Not For Long Media, helping keep this thing together as much as just like the rest of our group here, Not For Long Media, an awesome team. We have a lot to do with these guys, assembled a lot by those guys too. So thank you guys so much for all you do, first off. And thank you to our friends over at Som Sleep. 10% off if you use the promo code Colin, Colin. 10% off Som Sleep if you use the promo code Colin. Listen, this is not an advertisement. It is, but it isn't. This changed my life. I've said it before. I've got people text me all the time now. Is it for real? Is it for real? It's for real, folks. It's changed my life. We were just talking about sleep and quality of sleep. What these two gentlemen here and how important it is, especially, for anybody, but in our world, professional athletes, organizations invest a lot of money into us, and they're have a lot of suggestions about how to sleep better. Blackout shades, having a fan, putting your phone in another room, put your phone across the room so you can't reach it. And one of the things that's a part of my sleep routine and that they suggestion is, something with magnesium in it to calm you down. And that is Som Sleep. It is unbelievable. Check them out. Get Som Sleep, promo code Colin, Colin, 10% off every time you order from Som Sleep. Check out our friends at SeatGeek, guys. Lots going on this time of year in baseball, but we all know what's ahead. Football season. We're going to get into that with these two gentlemen here. Check out our friends over at SeatGeek. Use promo code Colin. Thompson, I think it's $20, excuse me, off your order over $50. So check them out. Promo code Colin Thompson on SeatGeek. Shout out to the GOAT, the original Fudge Kitchen. We got some people down there this week. They're going to be asking some funny, shout out to Rossi and Jay Brad, getting down the beach, asking the tough questions in front of Fudge Kitchen, including showing people my picture, I think, or my what's the word? My biopic, guys?
They're going to be asking, I believe, who is number 86 on the Carolina Panthers is going to be the legitimate. We had printer issues, I think was the big thing. Rossi tried to draw a picture of you, but it wasn't very photo accurate. So we just went with print, with just the guess of the number. There is no printed availability.
How about what NFL player does the Fudge Kitchen sponsor?
I think both could work. I mean, I don't know.
I think that's the question. So
like a courtroom sketch artist in there to do Colin. Is that what we're doing?
I'm curious to see how many of them we're going to guess Greg Olsen. I feel like 90% of the answers, the people that will actually give an answer will say Greg Olsen. I don't think they'll even be able to get. I'll be impressed if one of them says Ian or Tommy. To be honest with you, the Jersey Shore, I'd be impressed with that.
It would be impressive, no doubt about it. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Just like our friends over at the Fudge Kitchen, they're impressive with their fudge, shipping it across the country. FudgeKitchens.com. No better way to bring the Jersey Shore to somebody. Maybe that couldn't make it this year, or was under the weather, or made it this year and forgot to pick up some fudge. They're the best. FudgeKitchens.com, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country. So we're doing a live today. It's great to have the boys here. Lots of breaking news that we broke last week. Geez, Harry Mays and Jason Martinez is joining us, as well as our friends with Bourbon with Friends, Paul and Connor. And they have a new addition to their team as well. So lots going on in Not For Long Media. Make sure you guys check out our newest podcast, Geez, and Bourbon with Friends. Tons going on there. Also, a tradition unlike any other. Justin Ayers coming down to Carolina Panthers training camp, and now Jack in the back will be joining him. Jack, your first flight. Are you excited? Are you nervous? I know you're nervous, but are you excited?
I don't really get nervous. I mean, if you couldn't tell at this point from all that, I don't get nervous ever, really. Literally the only sense of nervousness I had wasn't even nervousness. When you were on shameless plug, the Ross Tucker podcast, that you were talking about training camp and like the 2-a-days, that like brought back flashbacks of nervousness to me. That's like the only thing I've ever really been nervous for in my life was like 2-a-days in training camp in high school. Flights is nothing to me. That I'm not even worried about the flight.
Your first flight, Jack in the back, flying out of beautiful Trenton Airport, which is great. It's a quick little airport, so it'll be good for your first flight. You get down to Charlotte, and everything will be excellent. Before we move forward, though, I forgot to shout out and bury the lead. Sean Latham is joining us today, formerly $20 chef, still $20 chef, but formerly of Barstool Sports, $20 chef, comic, just an absolute character. Excuse me. Love Sean. Great guy. And love having him on. Him and I just chopped it up. We were just BSing. He's in some courtyard drinking a beer, had him on the pod for, 15, 20, 30 minutes. And, just laid back, cool conversation. Sean and I are going to do some work together at Not For Long Media, actually down when I'm on vacation in the off season. I know that's another thing. These guys don't even know about it yet, but more fun, exciting stuff here at Not For Long Media. And it's great to have Sean kind of, not a part of the team per se, but, friend of the show, joining again for the second time. He's one of our biggest episodes here. So check out Sean. Our second episode overall was with Sean, I believe, second. And then, again, this episode, whatever episode number we're on now, Sean is joining us again. A great guy. So Sean Latham, really enjoy this, comic, just character, will be joining us here after this segment that we have going on. So JA is coming down to training camp. Jack in the back is coming down to training camp. Jay, what are you excited for coming down to training camp this year?
Well, yeah. Well, when you said a tradition unlike any other, it really threw me for a loop there. But it is. I think this is actually the thing that people most think about when they hear the tradition unlike any other. I am excited to just get back down there. Year 2 is going to be a lot more different because I know what I'm doing this time. And I know where to stand. And I know where not to stand. And I know how long I'm supposed to be filming practice for and when I'm supposed to stop. So that was fun. But, and just seeing some of the guys that I got to talk to last year a little bit, say hi to the gang again, all my pals down there. So, there's a lot to look forward to. I'm always excited. It's my favorite week of the year coming up. So it'll be a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. And it's something really cool that we do here, getting you guys down there. It's something I take great pride in and something I'm really proud of. Tristan as like a, small business owner, like having your boys come down and cover practice. 2 guys that mean a lot to me. Our whole staff does. I wish I could fly everybody down, but for your 2 roles and what you guys do, you guys are perfect to do it. Jack, what are you excited for?
Just being there, I guess. Like, this is pretty much my first major credentialed event, practice, anything. So just being in the mix, seeing all this stuff live, I've only been to one NFL game before. So a practice, being intimate up close to that, being able to watch that would be pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's good stuff, man. That's what it's all about. That's what that makes me happy that we get to, provide that, but just excited for you guys. You get to enjoy that. We're going to have a lot of content. We were talking earlier, there's some big name guys on our team, looking to land a couple interviews with them, looking to land a couple short interviews after practice on Friday. This is going to happen this week. The guys are coming down. It's crazy. A couple days. That we did last year, kind of like, compile some things together and some quick hitters and get guys for 4 or 5 minutes after practice. It's going to be hot. So guys want to get inside. We got to get them in. We got to get them out. It's fun. I do some interviews. You guys can do some interviews. So it's going to be a great time. And then we have a night practice on that Saturday, which you guys are just going to get some good content for and hang out and interact with fans and do all that stuff. It's going to be really cool. So expect a lot to see on our social media from it. Expect a lot from the podcast perspective. Jack and Justin are kind of going to maybe do a little YouTube series type thing, talking about their experience with it. So really excited for what's to come without a training camp. Lots of good stuff. I just loaded about 10 to 15 podcasts between training camp and everything I just recorded, ready to roar, ready to roll, ready to roll, ready to roll, as the great Stu Feiner would say from Barstool. For the next couple of weeks, I shouldn't say 10 to 15, probably next 10 weeks we have covered of interviews with NFL players, personalities, military members. So really excited for you guys to enjoy that moving forward. Lots to look forward to. You're Not For Long Media, and really thankful for our team making it done. Okay, boys, where do we want to start off? Should I start off with the bar of the week?
I mean, I could start off with something a little unique that I didn't even tell you about beforehand, Colin. How about we do that?
It's your show, Jack. What do you got?
So I think we have a bone to pick with Electronic Arts. Madden released their ratings for the upcoming Madden 2023 this year, and I have found upon before the release your Madden 23 rating, and it's safe to say I'm not a fan of it. Would you guys like to guess before I reveal your Madden rating?
I'm gonna
99.
Okay, I was gonna say I want to make Justin do it and make him a little awkward here.
He's a 99.
This is like when your wife asks you, how do I look tonight? You two aren't married yet, but you will. And your wife's going to say, how I look. And you're going to say, you look great.
Great.
99, Jay. Justin says
is
99. He says, I look great. And we're going to leave it there, Jay.
Yeah.
No, what's your guess, Jay? Seriously.
Is it in the 60s? Is it like a 68?
I can't say.
I'm going to say, because Tim, I'm going to say 65.
Jay, your final guess?
68.
So you were both over. Colin was only a 59.
Oh,
the disrespect.
What was that last year? I was better last year.
It was. I'm gonna go up to EA myself and raise hell. It's the good thing is nobody plays Madden anymore, so nobody's even gonna see it. Nobody likes Madden anymore. Everyone's waiting for NCAA football, and everybody's waiting for NFL 2K to come back.
I'll say this. I'm okay with it. I'm happy with it. That's fantastic news to me. I remember a couple of years ago, my Madden rating came out. I was like jacked. It was like just everything was 55 or whatever it was, or 56. And I'm like, let's go, So like, yeah, I guess I'm a little bummed. I wish it was a little bit higher, but like at the end of the day, like I'm in the game. So that's pretty freaking cool. And I'm very humbled to say that. Trust me. So yeah, that's good stuff, Jack. I think my score was better last year.
Now, the funny thing was, I remember when I was playing NCAA football 14, like years ago, they would always update the rosters. And the last one I had, I think, was your senior year at Temple. And it was like the most downloaded roster of like all of the world for NCAA football. And you were an 80. So that's something good you can reflect on. You were an 80 overall.
Was the most downloaded roster?
Yeah, you could. That was like the whole, like, it's still alive to this day, NCAA 14. Like, people will make rosters and of the entire NCAA.
I'll say this. In 2014 game, if you just let the game go and just played story mode, I won the Mackey Award almost every year for Florida. I'd have people come up to me on the street like, dude, you won the Mackey. I'm like, what? I'm not even playing. I played 10 snaps last year at Florida. I'm transferring. It's like, dude, every year you win the Mackey for the video game. I'm like, oh, that's good. I wish it was real life, but I appreciate it. What do you got, Jay?
So I found your like detailed breakdown. Guess what category you're the highest ranked in?
I bet it's my speed.
Release.
That's up there. No, it's actually injury. You're an 86. So you're durable, I think.
That's good. Yeah, 99 means you're insanely durable. So it's
your
good.
Speed is a 71 and your acceleration is a 79. So you got breakaway speed, it sounds like.
I can get up and move, and I just can't.
I didn't realize you had motor like that, dude. That's fantastic.
Hey,
it's the white cleats.
I think so.
White cleats.
This guy never gets hurt. So take note.
Man, knock on wood. That's good stuff out of you, Jack and Joss. That's fantastic. Surprise here to start the podcast. Yeah. Madden rating, thank you. Also, Madden, thank you for the check. We get a check every year from them for being in the game. So thank you. We appreciate you. And that goes right back into the podcast. So you guys can say thank you, Madden.
Thank you, Madden.
There you go.
Not for the overall ranking, but just for everything.
Just for everything. So awesome stuff. I love that, Jack. That caught me off guard. It was really good. All right. So the bar of the week this week is the Seaview Inn in Cape May, New Jersey. It is just a local pub, corner pub, one of the oldest bars, if not the oldest bar in Cape May, New Jersey. It's fantastic. It's open year round. It's busy in the wintertime in February. It's packed in the summer. The wings are fantastic. The beers are cold. The bartenders are great. The locals in there are fantastic. It's a local place where you got a mix of some tourism with the Jersey Shore vibe, but also just an awesome place. Huge Eagles bar, huge Ravens bar, great Philly sports bar. So the ratings on the Seaview Inn in Cape May, New Jersey, we're going to go service. The servers, the bartenders are fantastic. Full disclosure, some of my buddies are those bartenders. So 5 out of 5 with the bartenders. When it comes to cold beer, I'm going to go 4 out of 5. It's not an ice, but it's still a cold beer. When it comes to the food and the overall ambiance, I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5. The wings are the best wings in South Jersey, I think. The ambiance is cool. It's a clean dive bar atmosphere. So we're going to go a 4 out of 5 there. And then last but not least, what is the other one, boys? I'm drawing a blank.
Ambiance, TV, beer, food.
So
I think that's it. You only 4.
Is it? We're going to have to edit the clip for social media here. So we're going to go 4 out of 5. What are we doing here? I'm really striking out. I'm striking out. I'm forgetting our fourth one.
Ambiance, TV, beer, and food.
No, we're missing it. And service. So ambiance and food. I'm going to restart the whole thing because this is just, Big J journalist here. By the way, I called out some people on Twitter this week for being a Big J journalist. Okay, ambiance. There we go. Sorry, guys. TV, beer. This is just real life stuff, folks. Stuff happens on the Pat McAfee show. This is what happens. Ambiance. We're doing it live. Ambiance, TV, beer, service. Okay. Bar of the week this week at Not For Long Media, Colin Thompson show is the Seaview Inn, Cape May, New Jersey. I love the place. Fantastic hometown bar. It's one of the oldest, if not the oldest bar in Cape May, New Jersey. It's really cool vibe in there. Great bartenders, great servers. Everyone's local. They work their ass off. They're great people. The food is great. It's top shelf bar food. The wings are always voted the best wings in South Jersey. I think they're some of the best wings I've ever had, period. They're fantastic. Love their cheesesteaks. Love their chicken cheesesteaks. Love their crab cake sandwich. Love their specials. They love their soups. They do a killer job. The Seaview Inn, Cape May, New Jersey, is the bar of the week on the Colin Thompson show. The overall ambiance and food is really good. So I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5 on the ambiance and food. The TVs, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, which is a solid score. You guys know I'm tough with these scores. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 on the TVs. On the beer, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. They're not a nice, so they're not a 5 out of 5. But hey, it's still a pretty good rating, as you guys know. There's only a few 5 out of 5s on the beer scale. And then the service, like I said before, I'm friends with a lot of the bartenders and the servers, but they're really good at their job. They're great people. They work extremely hard. So I'm going to go with a 5 out of 5 on the service. They kill it. They buzz around. They do a great job. It's a great Eagles bar. It's a great Ravens bar. It's a great Philadelphia sports bar, and it's a year-round spot. So Colin Thompson show bar of the week is the Seaview, and the overall score, 4 on the ambiance, 3 on the TV, 4 on the beer, 5 on the service. If I can do that math, and hopefully I can do it, we're going to go with a 9. Let's see, 9, 12, 16 for the bar of the week and Not For Long Media, the Seaview Inn. So good stuff from the Seaview Inn. My math is good there, boys, correct?
Off the top of my head, yeah. I believe I was accurate. If not, we'll catch that. We'll have an updated math total in the clips.
Yes, we're good. Everything's excellent. I'm warming up. I thought I was good, but hey, I'm not fatigued. I'm not podcast fatigued by any means, but I'm getting to that point. I'm ready for football season to happen. I'm ready to shut this puppy down. Okay, Jack, Justin, there's been a lot going on in sports, believe it or not. Off the field, probably, I think it's safe to say, Kevin Durant's on the move. There's drama in the NFL. There's things being done in cities that people aren't happy with. Jack, what do you got from what's going on in Philadelphia that people are in an uproar about?
So last week, the Philadelphia 76ers announced that they were planning to build a $1.3 billion stadium straight in the heart of Center City in the Fashion District. It would be completely funded by the 76ers, titled 76th Place. It would replace Wells Fargo. It would be built in 2031. And it would be the Sixers' new stadium moving forward, taking them out of the iconic stadium complex, putting them right in the city. People are very much opposed to this. Colin and I are very pro. Put it there, move it. It's all going to be fine and dandy. People, of course, out in Lancaster, Allentown are in uproars about the traffic stipulations, all that sort of stuff. But fully funded by Josh Harris and David Blitzer. Planned to, if it's approved, it would be in 2031. It is their second attempted site in Philadelphia. They tried out in the Navy Yard. They were declined. So hope is that it is done and improved and they can start making progress there and try to bring life in the Fashion District.
Great job, Jack, and great reporting out of you. Great tweet, by the way, and we had a lot of responses off that. I'm going to send it over to JA because JA is a DC sports fan. He's a DMV guy through and through. Camden Yards, downtown Baltimore. Washington, the Nationals ballpark is in a great area, the Navy Yard. Downtown, the Capital One Arena, I think it is for the Caps, right downtown. So again, he gets it. He understands it. And then you have a place like FedEx Field, which is not downtown. So, JA, from your experience and your opinion, what are your thoughts on, having one downtown, having it remote, or having a stadium right in the heart of a city?
I think having a stadium in like the heart of the city just makes you feel like it's more of an experience when you go to a game. Like when I go to Caps and Wizards games at Capital One, it's in Chinatown. You take the metro, you get out, you're there. When the game gets out, you go across the street to Rocket Bar, shout out, and you just hang out. It's like a full, cool, experience it's a great time. When you go to like a Sixers game, and I've been to Flyers games before, you're in a parking lot. And then, maybe you go to Xfinity Live and you hang out and, wander around there for a little bit. But then you get out and then it's just a nightmare because everybody's trying to funnel out of 2 exits. So it's like, it feels, I don't know, the experience is kind of lessened when you just have to wander around this giant parking lot and figure out where you're parked. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't understand why people are all up in arms about this in Philly. I think it's in a great part of town. And, they're trying to put it above a metro station or whatever that's already there. So I'm all for it. But yeah, and then when you have places like FedEx that don't have a metro and it's just everybody has to drive there, it's not great.
Jack, what are your thoughts and reasons why you like it or don't like it?
So I'm a big fan of it. Like I've always had to drive down to Sixers games, whatever, because even taking the train or whatever, it's possible, but it's a very big pain for the suburbs. Almost every single person I've talked to from the outer suburbs of Philadelphia have had the exact same collective thought. Colin even tweeted it as well. All of the train stations up here connect to Jefferson Station, which is right by Reading Terminal Market, about 2 blocks away from the stadium. And every kid that's from like 25 under, and even parents that want to take their kids there, all love it because SEPTA is going to get SEPTA, which is the transportation down here, will get everything in line. And it's going to be so easy to take the train and just go right down, probably like a 45-minute train ride right to the stadium. And then if you want to pour out after, you could go out, drink, whatever, take your train. You don't have to worry about partying too hard and worrying about how to get Uber back. You can just take the train right back. Like it's a lot of people up here are fans of it. And I've seen people complain about traffic, and it's really not going to be an issue because even if you really wanted to drive, anybody up here, you could literally just take 611 straight into Broad Street, straight down if you really wanted to drive down here. And you're right, Independence Hall, and you're right there. Like, it's not big of an issue one way or another in terms of traffic. And the traffic's always going to be bad one way or another. It's never going to get any better. It's never going to get any worse. People just, I don't know why people were like so in uproar about it. I don't really see the issues.
So there's a lot to unpack here, and my opinion is coming. But I'm going to lay some groundwork before I do that. So I took the train from Doylestown into Philly consistently. And I loved it. I started really full transparency. I started our media company through that. I took the train down. I worked for an hour on the train on my laptop open. I just grinded on just different things and listened to shows and just started the base of it. So I'm going to do a little lap around Philly to where the train goes to. Okay. And for people to understand where the majority of the Sixers fans are driving in from. Okay. The train is fantastic. It is accessible. It is easy. They have Wi-Fi. This isn't the subway, folks. I want to make it clear for people at home. This is the train where most people are going to be coming from to come to the game. If not, it's going to reinvigorate the city because people are going to come down from the city, which is awesome. Hop on the subway and just walk over to the game. Awesome stuff. So I'm going to start east, go north, go west, and go south. A full loop around the stadium. This is where the trains go. All the way to Atlantic City, through Haddonfield to downtown. All the way from Trenton, all the way down the river, all the way through Ben Salem to downtown. West Trenton, connecting through Elkins Park, going downtown. Doylestown, connecting through Lansdale, Glenside, Warminster to downtown. That's where I'm from. Took that many times. Chestnut Hill East, Chestnut Hill West, Norristown, Thorndale, Media, PA, Newark, Delaware. You can also get on the Amtrak from DC and Baltimore, get off at Newark, and take the local train up and or take it to Philly and then just hop the rail over, which you would do, the subway, or walk. It's like 4 blocks from downtown, from like the heart of downtown. And then the airport. So if you want to fly in and you want to go to the Sixers game, you can literally fly in, get on the train at the airport and go right to the Sixers game. So I digress. on that subject. And I'm going to address a tweet from my boy, TJ Kuhar, I went to high school with. Great guy, great friend, had good times in college together down the shore. Great dude. So TJ tweets, Colin, I'm against it, and I'm playing devil's advocate here. Why do you think it's going to be big for the city? The stadiums are already in Philly. The subway is out front of Wells Fargo for people who want to access Center City. I think public transportation sounds good in theory, but logistically could be a nightmare. Some people have an hour train ride, and then they have to get in their car and drive home from the train station. And hopefully that makes changes. Hopefully they make changes to accommodate it. So I'm going to address the initial statement. Why do you think it's big for the city? It is massive, massive, massive for the city of Philadelphia. So there's a lot of needs in the city. And jobs is probably one of them, right? The amount of jobs this would create, which then that money from those people that would be working to put back in their neighborhoods and to, to be philanthropic with, or to, whatever that may be, people are going to do with that money, feed their family, let kids go to school, whatever it is to advance their family through those jobs. That's the number one thing to me, the jobs that it's going to create, and not at the stadium. I'm not talking about people cleaning the stadium. I'm not talking about ushers. I'm talking about the commerce that's going to be done in the city, because you're going to need more people to work the trains. You're going to need more people to work public transportation. You're going to need more police officers to make sure everyone's safe and healthy. You're going to need more bartenders, servers. You're going to need more Uber drivers. You're going to need more. All that's going to have to happen if that goes in the city. What happens down in South Philly is always going to continue to go on. That's always going to be there. Eagles going to be there. The Flyers are going to be there. Who knows what goes on there? But March Madness is going to happen there. That's another thing to talk about too. It makes Philly a hub now for March Madness, having those two arenas to play games in. It could be absolutely massive for the city economically there. It creates jobs on top of jobs on top of jobs, which gives people opportunity through money to do good with it, raise their family, support them, all the things that come with that. Take their kids to games. It has a lasting effect on the city of Philadelphia. So to me, I think it's a win-win, number one for that. To go to a game, to walk out, to go to McGillen's, have drinks, to go to dinner, it's huge for business in Philly, for people, when you're doing business, you want to take a client to a game, that's massive. To get on a train, to bounce into town, to go to a game, to go to dinner, like go to a show, whatever that may be, it's huge for the family. It's huge for hotels. It's huge for all the mom and pops all through that city. Philadelphia's got great mom and pop restaurants. And chain restaurants can make it because they have bigger budgets. Will help the little guy out. You put the stadium in, you're helping a lot of people out. So Reading Terminal Market, which is all local people, local vendors, they almost didn't make it through the pandemic. Well, what do you think that stadium's going to do for Reading Terminal Market? So to answer TJ's first question, what it's going to do for the city, it's going to be absolutely massive. I tell the story all the time about Charlotte. Last year, we put the turf in on the field, and I was bummed, just like a lot of the players that played in the great grass that we had in Carolina. Awesome grass field. Turf doesn't feel as good. It's, there's more of an injury risk on turf. So, everyone's bummed about it. But what it's done for the city of Charlotte, last year they had 3 games in a row, 3 straight days. They had the kickoff, I think it was week 0 or week 1 of college football. Clemson and Georgia played Saturday night. I think Duke played ECU and Charlotte played App State, or somewhere they got mixed up in there. But they played Thursday, Friday, Saturday. How much money do you think that made public transportation? It made Ubers. It made bartenders, servers, people that work at the airport. It made all the hotels, all the local businesses that are trying to get out of COVID. And the fact that, hey, you can be downtown Charlotte, walk right to the game. They don't have a tailgating atmosphere at our games. There's some places to tailgate, but there's really not. It's more of a place to go into a game. And basketball is not really like a tailgate sport, right? Like, plus if you're in the city, all those bars and restaurants will be built up around there. You'll be able to go into and have a great time. So just the amount of money it's going to make for a lot of people that need it, I think is absolutely massive. And the ripple effect is huge. It outweighs the cons times 10. So if someone can't park their car and then sit in 25 minutes of traffic trying to get back to 95, or leave the game early to sit in a little bit of traffic, like, it's just, to me, it takes the same amount of time for you to walk out of there, walk to the train, wait for the train, get on the train, go 45 minutes to an hour home and then drive 10 minutes to your house. Like it takes another 15 minutes and you're on public transportation and you didn't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about anything. So it's a win-win. Like you said, I think public transportation, sounds good in theory, but it could be logistically a nightmare. Well, some people are going to drive in, like Jack said. You can drive in and park and go to that one restaurant that's maybe 5-10 blocks away, and then just either walk or catch an Uber back to that restaurant after the game, and then just drive home from there. So there's still parking in the city. There's still parking garages all around the city. You don't have to park right at the stadium and walk in. Hey, park at your favorite place and walk over. So I think it's an absolute win-win. I talked about a lot of things there, but to me, it's a win-win for the city. I hope it happens. I think people will rally around the Sixers more. I think people will rally around Philly sports teams more. If you've ever been to Madison Square Garden and you pull up to that place and you walk and look, your eyes pop. You're like, this is so cool. Everyone's merging onto it. It's a vibe. You come out of there and you're just jacked. Even though just to be a part of that crowd. If you ever go to Fenway Park, it's like the most unique thing in the world. You're like in the city and here's a ballpark and there's people everywhere and it's just a vibe. Wrigleyville in Chicago, where Wrigley Field is this amazing place that they like built a city around the stadium, right? Not the other way around. So I like South Philly. I think it's cool. Don't get me wrong. They're all there. I played a lot of college football there. But to me, it's a win-win to have a city game. And, again, how many games do people really go to a year? The people that are tweeting that are freaking out, maybe 1 or 2 or 3. Well, there's a million ways to get there now instead of 0. Because before public transportation, you couldn't get to it. You had to go into the city and then get on the subway and then subway down. Now you can just go right to the arena.
The funniest thing I've seen that's come out of this, the funniest complaint is Sixers Twitter is now saying, oh, well, where can we tailgate now? I have been to probably about 10 Sixers games in my life. I have never once seen a singular Sixers tailgate in my entire life. It was just the funniest complaint. Like, it's not existent. Like, you're making problems that never existed to begin with. Like, who's going to want it? It's one thing to tailgate Eagles game in, like, January, but nobody's going to sit out there on a Wednesday night in February to tailgate a Sixers-Wizards matchup. Like, think logistically here.
I'm on the same page. J.A., any final thoughts before we bury this?
No, a Sixers-Wizards tailgate would be fun, though, I feel like. But, yeah.
Not for long media day?
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you guys say. It's so much cooler when it's downtown. I don't know. It's more industrialized when you're just in like a parking lot next to a warehouse.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I get it. I understand why they built it there. There's room, there's space, all that stuff. But like, I don't know. Reinvent how we do it, Philly. Get people in that city more. It's a great city. I love my time there, and I think it'd be really good for the city. All right, what do we got about Soldier Field? Who wants to read that one? Because there's some interesting things going on. Jack, what do you got?
Soldier Field. Are you? What is that, Jay?
Or Jay's got it. I'm sorry. Jay's got it. Jay's got it. My bad.
Me. All right.
It's okay.
You lose, Jack.
No, it's cool though. So in Chicago, Soldier Field, I've never been. I've just watched games there, and the wind, it's howling. It's right on the lake, and it's always cold and freezing. Well, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has come up with 3 different proposals, artist renderings of what Soldier Field could be made into. One of them was a dome. The other is like a multi-use stadium. And I don't know. They're trying to increase the capacity because the Bears are sniffing around moving from Soldier Field to a place out in Arlington International Race Course, which is in Arlington Heights, Illinois. But I'm all for a dome, especially if you're playing in Chicago where the weather sucks all year or in the wintertime. So I want to hear Colin's take on this because I can only speak to it from watching it on TV. He lived it.
I did live it. I did actually live in Arlington. I drove past the track every day on the way to work. I know exactly where the track is, and that'd be like putting a stadium in, Glen Burnie for the Maryland people, and then it'd be like putting a stadium in Doylestown, Pennsylvania for the Pennsylvania people that listen to our show. It's just you're in the middle of not in the middle of nowhere. You're in neighborhoods, and it's a nice neighborhood and all that stuff, but it's like awkward place to put a stadium, and it's outside the city. The Bears facility is outside the city, about 45 minutes north, so it'd be closer to the facility. But I digress. Soldier Field, amazing place. people complain about the new Soldier Field, which I think is stunning. People complain about it, but hey, people complain about everything, as we know here at Not For Long Media. But it's still a beautiful place to play. Unbelievable. So humbled I got to play some preseason games there and be a part of the Bears for a year. But there's a lot to unpack here. Yes, I love the cold weather games. I think it's awesome. I think it's cool. The tradition and the snow and, Dick Butkus and, Devin Hester juking people in snow and all that stuff is so cool to me. Urlacher and Julius Peppers, like all that stuff is awesome. But folks, this is business. This is huge, huge business, which sucks, right? But that's why I'm able to talk to you. That's why we have one listener or 1,000 listeners on this show, is because of the NFL. And really, for the city, again, we talked about the impact of the city. They can't have events there past January, February. It's still freezing cold in the playoffs there. But they can't have events in that stadium. That thing sits vacant till when? May? So that's 5 months, give or take, really, of lost revenue. And if you dome it, that's my argument with MetLife Stadium with Zach Gell when he came on. He's got to dome it. You can't dome it. You can't. It's New York. But that could have been a March Madness heaven between Madison Square Garden and there. You're in the media and you have 2 NFL teams there. It should have been domed. It should have been Jerry's World on steroids, a mall, all the Christmas shopping. Should have been chaos up there. Like, it should have been just a month connected to the racetrack across the street. Like, make it just an absolute beast. So I'm in favor of doming things. I really am. As much as I hate to take away the tradition of football and the cold weather, because I do value it, make it a retractable roof. Hey, make it a snow game. Make it retractable of some sense. Make it, if it's cold out and you want it to be cold, then you're in Chicago. But once the football season's over, close the dome, have concerts, have things. And what's that do again for the economy? February, March, April, May. People are spending money in the city of Chicago, enjoying the city, keeping it safe. Money's being spent, right? So at the end of the day, like economy-wise, like think past just like how it affects me. Right. In fact, I got to sit in a little bit of more traffic. I don't want to go. So, I got to take the 7:37 train, even though I want to leave at 7:30. Think about the grand scheme. And I think the grand scheme is, in our world, I think it's more important. That's my opinion. So I think the impact of a dome economically is huge because year round in these big cold cities, you're able to get things done. Should you ever put a dome on Green Bay? No, because there's not a city of Green Bay. There's nothing there other than neighborhoods. It's a beautiful place. People got to go. It's unbelievable. But Buffalo's the same thing. It's a little neighborhood and a stadium. Don't dome it. Nothing goes on there. It's different. But cities like that, where you're in downtown Chicago, beautiful city. Love that city. I think you got to dome it. I think you do. And open it, retract it for the winter, for the games. Why not? So that's my opinion. What do you guys think? Go ahead, Jack.
I don't know. I think I'm all for it. I'm all for everything you said. I don't see the players willingly feel like, oh, well, if we have a retractable roof and it's snowing, I feel like every player, even on your own team, is going to just say, put the roof up. They don't want to play in the snow. I just think, I'm all for everything you said. I just don't see that roof ever being open in the winter, regardless. I don't think the players or anybody will be for it.
J.A., what do you think?
I don't know if they go retractable roof or not. I feel like if you're going to do it, it's going to be like a hard dome situation. But you would lose the bear weather that we get in December, but you'd also probably lose the Cody Parkey double doink. So
the fun thing that people don't know about the Cody Parkey double doink that no one talks about is it got blocked. Okay. That ball got blocked.
Tipped by a fingertip and changed it. I forget what defensive tackle it was. I remember that. It was like you have to look at like super slow motion zoomed up, and you can see the angle gets changed minimally and drastically affected it all.
That's huge, and it still almost went in. And I know Cody, and I loved Cody. It was really cool, and it all went to a mess, after that. But fun fact, I think I may have, there was talks that I could have went back to Chicago after that game if the Bears won because they were short on tight ends. They had some injuries, so it affected me too. As much as the Eagles people were happy, I was not a happy camper. So, hey, it was all speculation. My agent thought at the time that we could end up back there. But yeah, long story short, I think you got to go with the dome. I think it's got to be retractable. I think it's got to be retractable. You want to keep the Bears thing cold? Great. Keep it cold. You got a team coming up. Tampa's coming into Chicago for the playoff game. Retract the roof. Why not? It's your advantage. But spend the money, on making it right. It's a great city. It's right on the water. You got to visit that city. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff out of you two boys. And anything else before we wrap up?
I think we covered everything.
Jack in the back. Justin Ayers. Guys, check out Breaking Bats. Guys that listen to our pods, Justin hosts the show with Brian O'Grady. It's first class what they do, baseball-wise. Just anything, but just baseball-wise, what they do. Their fun rankings, all their business. The way they go their business is great. They have big guests. People aren't doing that in the baseball world. Really. If you look around, not really. And what we're doing here, I'm really proud of. I know they are too. Appreciate what you guys do. I'm excited to get you guys to training camp. It's going to be fun. I'll be working. You guys will be working, running around. I can't wait for you to show somebody my face and for them to say, I have no idea who that guy is. Who the hell is he? I can't wait. And that's going to be all over social media. It's going to be fantastic. Everybody, if they guess me, are we giving them $1?
We got to figure that out. Yeah, that might be.
I think the prize pool at the Jersey Shore is they're giving $50 if someone can name who you are.
Watch it be like one of my old coaches. Thank you. Shout out to Ryan Wall for commenting. I know that guy is. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you tuning in from Facebook. But you're the man, Ryan. Check out Los Gringos in Tampa, right near the stadium. Place is fantastic food.
I should tell them to stay away from anybody who's got like Archbishop Wood stuff down the shore. That'll be an easy thing.
We're doing well here at Not For Long Meeting, but we can't just be handing $50 bills out. Why? It's going to be like some youth coach or some like parent that oh man, God bless. They're going to ask someone from Fudge Kitchen and they'll be like, it's Colin? What?
They'll go in and ask the workers, do you know this man?
Oh man. Well, guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate our friends over at Fudge Kitchen again. FudgeKitchens.com, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country. Saltwater taffy. Oh, fire. I sent some to someone last week. They were jacked. They didn't know it was coming. It was a great gift, great surprise. So again, treat someone you care about to something sweet. It goes a long way. And, you never know what people are going through this world. So you get to send them a little package, a little fudge or some sweet treats. It's going to turn their week around. So shout out to our friends at SeatGeek, going to a game, promo code Colin Thompson, $20 off any purchase, $50 or more. Got to take advantage of that. And then again, Som Sleep. You're having trouble sleeping. This shit changed my life. Honestly, like point blank period. I'll be dialed in on all season long. Som Sleep, get Som Sleep, 10% off, promo code Colin. We all have a promo code at all our podcasts. So appreciate all of you guys supporting us. Bar of the week, Seaview Inn in Cape May, New Jersey. We talked a little bit about the Sixers. We talked a little bit about the new stadium and the positives effects of a city economically it can have. It's tremendous. I think it's a huge ripple effect of only good, not bad, in my opinion. And we talked a little Bears. So some big sports markets, lots of talk, lots going on in the NFL. And we got Sean Latham coming up. So, again, I appreciate everyone supporting us. Thank you to our sponsors. And we're going to send it over to this hysterical, funny, witty, the great Sean Latham.